I put the thing in there. Hi guys. I put the box at the bottom that said ask me questions, or I think I said what do you want to know about real estate? And then I got some questions. So I'm going to answer those. I'm going to, and I took some today too. Hi Shayla. So I am going to literally go through the questions that they asked already. And then if you guys have questions while I'm here, I'll, answer it that way too. And then we can kind of go from there. I hope everybody is doing good today. I hope it's a really good day. It's gloomy outside. It was like raining a little. It's still raining right now, actually. So yeah. Alright. Get the questions. Boom. Okay. So one of my questions were, Jamisa, if you got high credit utilization, can you be approved by a lender? I don't know if she's on my live or not, which is so nerve-wracking, because if she's not, I'm going to actually have to write out the answer. But to answer the question, you could be, but it's less likely than if your utilization was low. So when it comes to credit and it comes to lending and things like that, they literally give credit to people who don't need it. So if your utilization is high, that's showing that you're using a lot of money, which is a red flag for banks, which is why that's actually a stipulation. Utilization makes up 30% of your overall credit score, so they take that into consideration very highly. So I would say if you wanted to maximize the ability to get some funding, I would just lower the utilization in a nutshell. And you can do that obviously by paying your bills now. Or just adding like additional credit to your report. Like you can get some miscellaneous, we give the credit out, the 14,000 worth of unsecured credit, and that helps to lower your usage. It's like diluting your credit utilization, literally, like pouring water in the Kool-Aid. Because they look at your credit per card, but then they also look at your credit as a whole. So if you had 5 different credit cards and each card was like a $10,000 limit, they're going to say, okay, she has $50,000 worth of credit. Now, how much of that credit is she actually using? And that is how they determine your utilization. So I would just add some nonsense credit to just drop it down. Or you can do a little trick. It's a sneaky way, but let's say if you have 5 different credit cards and one is due on the 1st and one is due on the 15th, what you can do is do a balance transfer from one card to another. So like the card on the 15th, I would do a balance transfer from that card to the one that was due on the 5th. So when they actually look, it's going to say, okay, she paid that off. And as long as you do that before your reporting date, they're going to report it as if you paid it off. And then you can literally take that balance and put it back to where it belongs before they go look at that one on the 15th. So it's a lot of different ways to do it. But to answer your question, yes, you can get approved, but you are probably not going to get what you are trying to get. Yes, you're only supposed to use 10 to 15%. In all actuality, I don't go past 6. No, I'm lying. Actually, I max out my cards, but just by the reporting date, I make sure I pay it down to reflect at least 6% or less. Okay. How much do I need to invest myself into what you do as far as tax lien deeds? Okay. So I get a lot of backlash about my $600 properties. I'll be getting a lot of stuff. I hear a lot of people like, no, you can't get a $600 house. No, it's impossible. Let me tell you something. I've taken over, what is this? I've taken over 400 people to the auction collectively over the years. And almost everybody, and when I say almost everybody, I mean at least 97% of the people that I've taken have done this $600 property strategy. Like when you see those videos with the little pieces of paper, zoom in. It's not all the same paper. These are each person's paper. That's another victory story. So it works. So to do what I do, literally $600. Like that's not a gimmicky number. It's really $600. And there are other auctions in which the $600 property strategy can get you just an outright property. I have purchased a property for $500 outright. That was not a deposit. I have a 7-unit that I purchased for $2,000 outright. Like I can actually show you guys a receipt. I can show it. I purchased a property for $1,700 outright. That wasn't a deposit. So to do what I do, you just got to do what I say. That's all. It's very simple. Hey, Jamisa, take me. Literally, I can't take nobody else because they keep pushing it back. And I like to undercommit and over-deliver. I only take a certain amount of people at a time so that I can make sure that I really help everybody. If I took 20 people, I can't talk to all y'all. It's not gonna work. Like, it's not even about the money. I can make all y'all pay me to do it because I've done it so many times. Y'all trust that I can get it done. But it wouldn't be fair. I like to have the interaction so I can walk you through the processes. Right now, I'm booked until like November-ish. I don't even say it's horrible. And come December, I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm just going to be bidding for people because I get a lot of that too, and that's literally just easier. Alright, so I answered that question. Okay. Do I need money up front for a purchase and rehab loan? Yes. Absolutely 100%. Yes. Hello. So for a purchase and rehab loan, yes. And it depends on what the lender's requirements are. So I'm a lender as well. I broker for certain people, but I also lend my own money, like out of my bank. The stipulations for that are a little more strenuous. But if you're doing a normal purchase and rehab loan, they usually, it depends. We were doing 90% purchase, 100% rehab. So you would have to have 10% as a part of your closing cost. So that would have been your out-of-pocket expense. Right now with lending, because of the pandemic and the economy, they are requesting, I think, 20% opposed to the 10%. And then they're also wanting you to have interest payments in escrow. So it depends on your lender, but yeah, there's no way to actually do a purchase and rehab right now, a purchase and rehab loan without any money, because they want you to have some skin in the game. It's like, hey, I got this house, I want to fix it up. How do they know that you're not going to play with their money, right? So they got to make sure that you're serious and that what you're asking to borrow is not all that you have. So you need money. But there have been situations where I heard that they allow you to roll your fees into your loan. So, like I said, it depends on the lender. Alright, purchasing from sheriff's sale. Okay, so the question was, what do you want to know about real estate? This person wants to know about purchasing from the sheriff's sale. It's easy, it's fun, very strategic, and it's not for the faint of heart. That's what I can tell you about it. And then how to fund the rehab and the rehab process. Alright, so these 3 questions. The sheriff's sale thing is cut and dry. It's a place where people are losing houses because they didn't pay their taxes or they didn't pay their mortgage. Funding it. You can fund it a lot of different ways. You can go to the auction and get 3 properties. Keep one to sell 2. So then the money that you made from selling the 2 can fund the one that you kept. You can rehab it with credit cards. You can rehab it with a purchase and rehab loan. You can fund it with partners. Like if you have people who want to do real estate like you can say, hey guys, let's put our money together and you guys can fund it like that. The rehab process, I don't like it. I hate it. I do not like it. It's horrible. It's not that bad. I'm actually now a general contractor. So is my husband, but I'm not hiring him because I don't like his attitude. Okay? So yeah, when it comes to the process though in itself, you just gotta pay attention. You should have a really good relationship with your contractor, but you should have a really good relationship with anybody that you do business with, especially when you're in this business. It should be a vibe type of thing. If you feel like you can't trust them, don't give your money to them. You gotta be like with the process. So if they say, hey, listen, it's gonna cost this much, you don't want to be second guessing it. Especially as a beginner, because as a beginner, you don't know what is required with the rehab. So you can't walk into the house and say, okay, this is a load-bearing wall, or I need this, that, and the third. You don't know that. So you want to make sure that you feel confident and comfortable with your contractor so that you can believe that they're telling you what needs to be done. Not what they feel like they want to do, but what actually needs to be done to like make their project more cost-effective. So the process in itself is literally, it starts off with a scope of work. And that would be just like a walkthrough. When you walk through a property, your contractor's going to say, okay, first of all, it depends on how you're fixing it. So let me go back. Are you fixing this house to flip it? Or are you fixing this house to rent it out? These are 2 different types of projects. Right now, you can still flip a good property. I won't say that you can't. So you got to think about what type of finishes will get you top dollar. You got to try to match the after repair value of like what's going on in the area to make it comparable so that you can get the most for your money. If you're doing it for a rental, Not bare minimum, because I treat my tenants pretty good, but you're not going to go put marble all over the house for a rental. You're not going to put diamond doorknobs and waterfalls in the bathroom. You're not going to do that. You're going to do things that are sustainable for a rental property, because you're going to want it to be very comfortable and efficient for your tenants, but you're going to make sure that it's not going to cost you a bunch of money in damages if, you know, something goes wrong. So number one would be just deciding what type of rehab you're trying to do. Number two would be to take that information to your contractor, have them walk through the property so that they can tell you what needs to be done to bring it up to whatever speed that you want it. He'll tell you how much it costs. It's literally a scope of work. They'll outline, hey, bathroom gonna be this much, kitchen gonna be this much, blah, 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 blah. And then you decide how you want to fund it. Can I find a store or warehouse? Absolutely. That's literally zoning. So when you're looking for a property, you look at zoning. Commercial properties are like CMX2 or like commercial mixed use. You can see what properties are what. Like single families have certain zonings, multi-units have certain zonings, warehouses have certain zonings. But I think you are asking, can you find those at auction? Yes. I said, what do you want to know about real estate? You said everything. There's you again. I see your other question. You want to know everything. If you want to know everything, I'm not inclined to teach you everything because I don't know everything. When I teach, I really like to narrow it down to things that I personally experienced. And if it's something I have not personally experienced, I'm very honest and transparent. But I do have people that come on to my group. I have a real estate group. It is called Rosebud University. Some of you guys may have seen it as the Concrete Rose Real Estate Group. It is awesome. I don't know if any of my group members are in here. But it's $59.99 a month, and we do a class every single Sunday, 7:30. And if it's something that I don't know about, I actually have people who come on and talk to you about their respective area of the work. Because some things I have not done, some things I do not know. We do it via Zoom, it's live, we then record it, and then we upload it. It's $59.99 a month. But if you go into my bio in my link tree, it says Rosebud University or it says real estate courses. Each class that I've done, you can just go purchase it separate. Literally, like some classes are $9.99, some are like $15.99. You can go and you can choose. As a group member though, for the $59.99, you get every single class that's in the archive. And you then get the classes moving forward when we do them live. So far, we've done do-it-yourself credit repair. We've done how to vet contractors. We had a contractor actually come speak. Yes, I share my contractors. Not all of them, but I share enough of them that you're okay. We did a class on how to become a Section 8 landlord. We did a class on how to use 203K loans. We did a class on how to be a landlord, period. Like I went over my lease, which is 13 pages, pretty much airtight. Because that's one of the questions I get a lot. How do I rent out properties, or how do I handle so many properties without property management? My lease really helps me with that. It pulls a lot of the weight because legally it was drawn up by a lawyer, so it has everything that's expected of me and the tenant, and it protects my butt from a lot of different things. I'm not going to pay a property manager to do something that Elise could do for me for free. So yeah, but if you want to learn everything, jump in the group. Like I said, $59.99. Or go onto my link tree, hit real estate courses, and then you can just go watch any course that you feel like is regarding what you want to learn. How do I get into an auction? You just show up and you walk in the door. And you go to wherever they're holding the actual sale. Hi, so I'm still building my credit and trying to figure it out still as well. How do you go about getting a mortgage? Whew. Sorry, this is personal for me. I hate mortgages. Oh my God. I was so uncomfortable because I had so many houses before I did the mortgage process, and I was like, I can't do this. Like, this is not for me. Let me just go buy a house my way. Like, I don't want the whole mortgage thing. It was like so strenuous. But in a nutshell, the answer is you get pre-approved. You take the money, because that's what the pre-approval is, meaning they're going to say, hey, based on the things that you provided to us, which could be your credit score, your tax returns, your bank statements, you know, the things that they want to look at to make sure you're eligible to buy a home. They'll say, okay, based off of these things, we'll give you $200,000 to go buy a house. Okay? So now you have up to $2,000 to buy a house. That doesn't mean you gotta go buy a $200,000 house. That means you can buy a house anywhere between $1 and $200,000. Some people max it out. They're like, I got $200,000. Let me go cash out. You don't have to do that. You do not have to do that. But you take that piece of paper that you have, you connect with the realtor, or you can do what I did. I found my own house and just got the realtor to like do all of the paperwork and stuff for me. She was really good. She was like, please, can we go look at more houses? I want you to be sure. She didn't know, like, I'm a pretty sure person. Like, I know what I want. But that was that. We went house shopping. We found the house. You then go and hand in other documents. So once you like find the house, you put in an offer. You get the offer accepted. What happened next? Appraisal inspection. They ask for more paper and more paper and more paper and more paper. You give them all the paper that they ask for. And then you go to closing. It was simple enough. It's just the stuff in between. How about taking an equity loan out? I want to say it might be the same thing. I have not done a HELOC ever. I never did a home equity line of credit like ever. But I want to say it's the same requirements. They want to make sure that you are like lending worthy, right? So they want to check your stuff out. And then they want to see what you're borrowing against. Hey, I literally just answered your question. Don't be hard-eyeing me either. I was like, I wonder if she actually on this live. I just answered your question about the usage. So yeah, home equity line, I'm going to say it's the same thing. You have to be, ready. So you got to have good credit. You got to show that you can pay your bills and that you can actually afford it. They look at your debt to income ratio. They look at the house, and then I guess they'll tell you, I think they lend between 65 to 80%. I don't know what lending is going on right now just because of everything that's happening in the economy, but the logistics are pretty much the same. You get approved and then pull the equity out based off of how much equity is actually in your home. Can you refi without any tax returns? Yes, with hard money or private money. That's called a no-doc loan. I could actually do that. So if you want to refinance a property, like it's called asset-based lending. So pretty much they go off of the worth of the property. They don't really deal with too much of who you are. They're literally lending to you based off of your actual asset. So you won't need tax returns. You won't need bank statements. You will need bank statements, but you won't need tax returns and pay stubs. They do want you to show that you have some liquid funds in there. But it doesn't have to be a whole lot depending on your deal. So I can help you with that. I answered that. Can you refinance? Yep. That was the same questions like everything. I told you if you want to learn everything, join the Rosebuds University. We got it all covered for you. Okay. Girl, save this live because I'm over here slaving for me. I wasn't supposed to read that out loud. I'm going to save this live for you. It's going to be on my IGTV. Yo, how did y'all get so funny? Can you let me in the group, please? I'm off for 2 days. Yes, Toyan, I can let you in the group. I added some new classes, too. Toyan is one of my Rosebud University students. You can ask her how she likes it while she's here. Okay, if I want to start a business, would you suggest buying or leasing? That's a real good question. I would say it depends on the type of business that you're opening. I'm a firm believer of keeping your overhead really, really low. Like, so if your business is profitable and you're making money, you can afford your mortgage, then go ahead. But don't get a mortgage based off of the business, and then the business doesn't thrive, and then you just got this building that you can't do nothing with. It depends too. Are you going to buy that building in cash? It really just depends. Are you just now starting out? Maybe like a lease purchase option after you've been in the building for a while will make more sense to you. It really just depends on your financial situation right now. Yes, I'll save this video. Jamisa is the fucking best. Thank you. And the realest. I try. I've been like that for a while though. Very honest. I used to get in trouble for being so honest. I need to actually double back and talk to my mom like, remember you said? She owes me an apology. Okay, how did you start your own? How did I become my own bank? Well, I literally, you can call it an inheritance. So my grandma, I was 19. She put her house in my name and lived in it, and then she passed away. And then I capitalized off the whole entire situation. So I sold that property. I made $152,000 I reinvested it. I bought a lot of houses. And then I sold some. I played Monopoly, real thing. And then I just kept the money going. And then I saw that there was a need for people who actually needed money. So I started to give them money. And then they would give me a return on my investment. That's it. Now, how can you do it? Same thing. You could become a bank with flipping a house. Because now I teach people, like, I got my house from my grandma. You can buy your house from the auction. Same thing. Or you can get one from your grandma, too. Everybody has a grandma, hopefully. Or somebody in their family that if you show enough interest and knowledge, they'll give it to you. Most people are like, no, family doesn't stick together. People have a hard time giving over something that they worked hard for. Because they don't know if you equipped to deal with it. Like, I really worked hard for this. I got this house. You know, older people too. They're like, they work to get a house and retire, and that's it. That's their life, everything. So to give that to somebody, they gotta trust that you can actually deal with it, and you're not gonna just fuck it over. Pardon my French. So if you are that person, talk to somebody that's older than you. Like, hey, whose house, whose name is this house in? Like, talk to them. Like, when you die, what do you think is going to happen? Because my grandma died unexpectedly. Like, to me, she may have known that she was sick or whatever, but I didn't, right? And she had her affairs in order. To an extent, it was still some things that she should have just did. She could have done a little bit different, but she did it how she did it and left me to figure out the rest. And I'm okay with that because I was smart enough to figure out the rest. But I just feel like it calls for a conversation with your family. Like, hey, what's going to happen to this house? What are we going to do? Like, I had somebody in my DM yesterday, and was like, my grandma wants to put the house in my dad's name, but he's saying he can't afford it. I said, oh, you should take it then. Like, I told her, this is what you should do. Tell your dad to get it and then give it to you, and this is what you should do. And needless to say, I'm going to help her. We're going to talk about it, but that's one way to become your own bank. Getting a house and selling it and having money. You can do it with a 401k if you have that, self-directed IRA. Believe it or not, life insurance. People don't know that you don't actually have to die to take advantage of your life insurance once you get the cash benefit. And that's actually a tax-free way to invest. We did a class on that. The group is called Rosebud University. It is on my website. When you go on my website, it's going to say Concrete Rules, membership. It's all the same thing. So we do a live class every Sunday on different topics. I actually had a life insurance person, a person who sells insurance, come and talk about how to get cash benefits and which policies will be best. So that's actually one of the classes that's on there. But you can go join it. Like I said, it's $59.99 a month. Or you can just go pick each class separately, one by one. So y'all asking me questions in both places. Hold on. Alright. This is Diana. When is the email for the sheriff sale dates coming out? Today, by this evening. Ashley's working on them right now. Do you know when the sheriff sale's opening back up? There's a lot of them. When y'all say sheriff sales, y'all say that as if it's like a one sheriff sale thing. They have like 10 different sales. Like, you got so many different sales. If you're specifically talking about the Philadelphia, even with that, because they got tax delinquent, tax lien, tax collection, mortgage foreclosure. So it depends on which one you're talking about. But some of them are opening in the fall. And some of them, it's a bunch of different dates. And I answered that. So you wanted to know everything. You wanted to know everything. You asked the refinance questions twice. I answered that. How do I go about getting into an auction and where are they? Like I said, you just show up. But it depends on which one. Some of them are at the courthouse. Some of them are in banquet halls. Like they have a ballroom that they have one in. It really just depends on which sale you want to go to. Some of them require you to register. Some of them you literally just show up to. Alright, you want to know everything. You want to know everything. What can I do with an 800 credit score but no capital? An 800 credit score is capital, okay? You can go get some business credit, get business lines of credit, get business credit cards. You can become a bank, like I just said. You can be a credit partner to people who actually have the money but not the credit. You can, what I say? Let me say, I got name these for you. One, business lines of credit, business credit cards, personal credit cards if you want to. You could become a bank. That was number 4. You could become a credit partner. That's number 5. Because I know I talk fast, so you probably need to catch everything I was saying. What else can you do? Oh, you could buy a house. That's number 6. I probably should have said that as number 1. What else would I be doing with the 800? Yeah, those 6 things I feel like is enough. It depends on where I'm at and who I know. I probably can max it out and give it 10, but I gave you 6. That should be alright. You should be good with that. Alright, those were the questions. So I got some more questions in here. One question, nope, I answered all of these in here. All right, if y'all have some more questions, y'all put them. I don't know how y'all asked the questions. I was literally going off of the questions from earlier today, and I think I tried to answer something yesterday too. Oh my God, I found a house that owes 2 years worth of taxes. What's next? Contact the owner and see if they want to sell it to you before it goes to the auction. Okay. When are the Phillies? Didn't I just tell you? Philly has a lot of sales. You think I'm being funny? I'm not. I'm super serious. Alright. Let me get in here now. Let me see what y'all was in here talking about. This ring like killing me. I can never have a YouTube channel. I'll tell you that. My eyes. Dear God. Boom, boom, boom. You guys said hi. I said hi back. Hey, y'all. Yo. You robbed me. I never got my products that I ordered for my girl. I don't sell products. What? I don't even know why I responded to that. Hello, hey. I'm building my credit, but don't know how to go forward with getting a mortgage. Yep, I answered your question. I think you put that in there. Trade lines is gold. Trade lines are helpful, but only if you looking for like an instant result or something. Because a trade line is you becoming an authorized user on somebody else's credit. So it's temporary, obviously, unless that person is like your mom or dad or like a family member. So I would only suggest that if you're looking to do something right away, like go get a car or go get some type of loan or go get some type of mortgage. But sometimes trade lines are counterproductive because they can actually see that it's not your line of credit, believe it or not. So I'm a firm believer of just not taking a shortcut with certain stuff. And I'm personal experience, again, like I said, I'm not being biased. I spent thousands on trade lines and they did nothing for me. Like they boosted my score temporary, but I didn't know what I was doing. So I'm like, oh, I got a trade line. And didn't take advantage of it. So trade lines can be helpful if you know what you're doing. But like I said, I give out $14,500 worth of unsecured credit just to personally boost your score. Because not everybody is in a trade line type of situation. But I have trade lines too. For those of you guys who actually like it. Yeah, we talked about the usage, 10 to 15%. I want to go with you to the auction. I'm booked for a long time, but I still have the auction course, which is 3.5 hours. I'm actually going to do a live auction course in a few weeks. I've been planning it. They've been asking me to just do a live one, so I'll do a live one. But if you want the course, it's 3.5 hours. It goes over how to find different auctions, what are the best auctions to go to. It tells you the discrepancies of each sale, which sales have the right of redemption, which sales allow you to get the properties debt-free, because not all of them do. Which sales actually give you a deed, because not all of them do. Which sales allow you to pay cash, which sales you can't pay cash for. How to look up the properties that are going for sale before the sale. How to buy the houses before the sale. How to stop a house that is going to sell. It's a lot of different topics in there. Like it's literally a full 3.5 hours. So I have a course that you can take, and it's real thorough. Like most people say they want to go with me just because it's like, yeah, I want to go with her. And I'll take you. But that course is real thorough. It gives you everything you need. You don't actually have to go to the sale with me. But if you want to, you can book the service on my website. It says share sale, training, and field trip. And then you'll fall into the next available spot that I have. Can you get a duplex? It depends on if it's available. I live in New Jersey near Pennsylvania. Would you recommend investing in PA? Absolutely. If so, what cities would you suggest I look into? Philadelphia. And I'm not being biased. Philadelphia just has the best rules when it comes to sales. In the PA area, obviously. Hello, I'm from Atlanta. Looking to purchase in Philly and Bucks County. Have you purchased in this area? Philly, yes. Bucks County, no. What's the process to assume or take over a property in pre-foreclosure? It depends on if you're doing it subject to or if you're buying it outright. So if a property is in pre-foreclosure, you just buy it before it actually sells. If you are doing a subject to, you then have to pay at least what that person defaulted. So let's say if their mortgage, they have $100,000 left on it, but they haven't paid in a year, and they owe $15,000. Well, you would have to pay that $15,000 to get it back in good standing, and then you would do a deed of trust to put the property in your name and keep the mortgage in theirs. Can you join? Yes, everybody can join. Is it true that I must live in Pennsylvania in order to invest? Absolutely not. I got clients from Canada that invest in Pennsylvania. How about an equity loan? Is that a good way to get into real estate? Yep, it is, but I wouldn't pull the equity out my personal house. You don't play with the roof over your head. Do you buy lots and build to sell? No, but I do buy lots to hold. Easiest investment ever. Land appreciates. I don't have to do nothing to keep the grass cut. I literally can't make this up. This is crazy. Had somebody knock on my grandmother's door and say, hey, I want to buy your lot. And she was like, what? And literally, I was actually on her block. I was across the street. And they was like, yeah, I want to buy your lot. I actually wanted to rent it first, but then I thought to ask, did you want to sell it? And I'm like, that's crazy. Somebody gonna pay me for my dirt. So that was pretty cool. Land appreciates. You might have investors that will buy it for top dollar because they want to build on it. Me personally, I have never done a grown up anything yet. I do lend to people who need to do grown up renovations, but I keep them. I'm concerned about the slow permit process with some courthouses slow or closed right now. I mean, the process is slow, but slow movement is better than no movement. Like, inevitably, you have to get where you're going, even if you're taking a super small step at a time. You said hi. Hi. Thank you. You're welcome. Hi, I have a home now. Are there programs to help me acquire a second home? It depends on how long you had your home. I guess you could do FHA again. But what I talk about is nothing to do with like mortgages. I teach you guys how to buy in cash. Mood, that's me. I'm working, but I miss time. Hey, Chanel. No, cause she told me she's slaving. Like, they is so silly. How do I calculate the after repair value? So you can run comps with a realtor. If you guys don't feel like burning out your realtor, you look at the last 3 properties that sold, add all 3 of those properties up, divide it by 3, and that's your after repair value. Wait with group. I think I told you that. I love it. Join Rosebud. So yeah, you always telling people you love this group. She's from Detroit, by the way. So when people come on here and be talking about me, they not like my friends. Like, okay, we build a relationship over time because I teach them stuff and I put them on money and help them buy houses. But these be strangers that I really be helping and they end up loving me. It's real crazy when you have somebody who's paying you for something and still showing you support. That means they are happy with what they're getting. So, thanks, Toyana. I appreciate you. Yes, I'm going to say the video. You're welcome. Do you do a full title search on properties and auctions? No. And when you refer in a tax lien properties, which sell category does that fall under? As there are tax collection, GRB, and Lombardi. So tax lien, they all are different things. Like tax lien is tax lien. So whatever I say, that's the one I'm talking about. Tax lien is tax lien, tax collection is tax collection, tax delinquent is tax delinquent. So I don't do title searches on properties that, because certain auctions give them to you debt free. So I don't do title searches on those ones. I'm not wasting my time. You can. That's risky. I take risk. I'm going to be honest with you. So some of the stuff that I do might not be what you want to do. I'm built to deal with whatever it is, however it comes. My thought process around it is, if I'm buying a house for pennies on the dollar, even if it's the worst house in the world and it needs a full rehab, I can calculate what a full rehab is going to cost. And I'm still well within my means in terms of how much it should be worth afterwards. So as long as I don't spend over a certain amount, everything else don't matter. And I can get title insurance on sheriff's sale properties, even in Philadelphia. A lot of people said that that was like impossible. It's not. You just have to get the right title company. So if you look on my video, it was Annette. She's from New York. And she was in the Rosebuds group. I think she actually still is. So she went to the auction. After I told her, she came and she bought 3 properties or 4 in like one day. And then somebody in the group, she decided to sell one. So somebody in the group decided to wholesale it. But then they end up selling it to somebody else that's in our group. And then I funded their whole deal. So I funded the deal. One person was able to sell a house. One group member was able to wholesale a house. One group member bought the house. And I got them title insurance. It was like epic. So when I say that I be in that group really making people like some good deals, it be happening. So yeah. I'll be contacting you. I will be here. Can you maximize buying and selling within 5 years? I bought 9 houses in 1 year. I think I hit the millionaire mark at the end of that year or the beginning of the next year. So Definitely, 5 years is a hell of a lot. Like in 5 years, I became a multi-millionaire, both liquid and asset-wise. I think my portfolio now is like 4 million. I have 23 properties and 1 mortgage. Was it 24? 23, 24. I'm not counting. Whatever. How I missed this? I don't know because I don't be upselling. I don't talk about my group. I went live to talk about the group because they like, you need to tell people. It's so crazy. It should be 200 a month. You better get. Yo, y'all not gonna keep telling me I'm under. Listen, it's enough of y'all in there that I'm okay. So no shade to anybody that does real estate. I'm not knocking it. I don't want to be shady. But a lot of people who are these gurus, right? They don't actually have real estate. Or they don't do real estate. It's really easy to portray this image and make money on the internet. I don't know when it became such a thing. But it's easy for me because I personally have done it. So I don't have to charge you $1 million a month because I actually am a landlord still. You can't forget that I make money over there. So while money is good, to me it's just real fulfilling to help a person. Like, I always been that person. Now, if you ask anybody who knows me, like, I'm like always willing to share. I'm excited. I learned something. I'm like, oh my God, guess what happened? Let me tell you. Right? So I literally get paid to do what I love. I lie to you not. Because it's 33 classes that are already saved. So we had a enrollment fee of $200. And I went to waive it because of the pandemic. And I'm like, we're going to take it off. When I took the $200 enrollment fee off, I took off the recurring payment. So in like 2 months, people was in the group not paying. And they're like, yeah, I know you said $59.99. It's not charging my card. So finally yesterday when I switched websites, I was seeing it. I'm like, damn, I was giving all this free game. But that's how much I don't be like pressed about the numbers. Crazy. I fixed it inevitably, but yeah. Are the sales online now? Nope. Still in person. Better bring your mask. That's what they said. Have you purchased in Bucks County? No. Bucks County is cool. I mean, it's like borderline suburban. It's okay, but no, I haven't purchased. I like urban properties. I'm from the hood, so I like buying in the hood. I'm just gonna be honest with you. It just makes sense for me. Just because of how I even got started and the fact that I know the numbers and I know the potential there. A lot of suburban areas to me or suburban homes, they don't really appreciate that much. It's like, it is what it is when you get there. You know, I'm not really with it. I'm definitely ready to fly. Come on down. Georgia not bad though. You get close enough to the belt line. It's never what you do, it's how you do it. Literally. I'll come to you. I'll come to Georgia. Do you do another state with me? Yes, ma'am. You tell me where you want to go. I want to go to Miami next. Is Georgia auction open? I'm not sure. I can check for you. Make sure you DM me later. I can't do it right now, but I can do it before I go to sleep tonight. How can you become a bank with an 800 credit? I think I answered it. People ain't listening, child. No, and I be talking loud too. I be really giving them the game. I think since I just be saying it, they be like, whatever, and they go right over their heads. If you listening to half of what I say out my mouth, you gonna make some money. I sent you an email a couple of days ago. Let me know if you got it. I get so many emails and DMs. If you ever do that, I'm not ignoring you. Sometimes it literally takes a couple days. And I have staff too, so they'll comb through certain emails and answer what they can. And then if it's something that they stuck on, they'll then give it to me. So thank you so much for your patience. I don't know what your name is, so I can't tell you if I got it or not. But at least give me till tomorrow. Because by Wednesday, they literally get done. The majority of our weekly emails. If you have a nonprofit, do you need an LLC? No, it's one or the other, but you could always have both. Have all the auctions in Philadelphia been postponed until October? No. Do we have to be a part of your group to get biz credit from you? No, because I don't give you business credit. I refer you to the bank. I give you personal credit. I got a Rosebud Secure card. It's like a Rosebud Secure card. It's sponsored by MasterCard though, so it's real credit. Like, it's not me being like a scammer or anything. But I can help you with your personal credit. When it comes to business credit, I refer it out. And I teach you how to do it both ways. Either it's non-recourse business credit, or I'll help you get like just lines of credit and business credit cards. Why would a house be on a sheriff's sale list if the balance is 0 for taxes? Because the owner had paid what they owe and the system didn't update? No, it would have updated. It would say at that point stayed. But it depends on if you're looking at like a tax. Because like you say sheriff's sale. Sheriff's sale could be mortgage foreclosure too. If it's a mortgage foreclosure, it's not going to reflect the taxes on there. Because they're like going to auction for the mortgage collective balance. And the taxes are a part of that mortgage balance. So it would be depending on what you're looking at. Hi, hey. Good work out there. You know, I'll be trying. If you have a nonprofit, do you need an LLC? Oh, so you're not on one of them lives when the stuff just be going back and forth. I answer all y'all questions. It takes me some time, but I got you the first time. What are the protocols for Section 8 and PA? You mean what do you need? I did a whole class on that. It was like an hour and a half. Pretty much, you can get pre-approved, you can get pre-qualified. I'm laughing at one of my DMs. You can get pre-qualified before you even get a house. And then you have to make sure that you get, how do I do mine? Hold on. You go take the class. That was the first thing I did. And then I got the certificate. I'll post it later in my story. What did I do next? Oh, I actually got a house next. And then you have to have your rental license. You have to have your deed. You have to have your ID. You have to have a commercial activity license. You have to have, I think that's it. And then I got the house pre-qualified. I mean pre-inspected so that I can know what to expect before I got my tenant. It's a little bit more. It's a couple more moving parts, but that's like the basics of it. But like I said, I got a Section 8 class and my link. That's like $25. But if you join the group, you get it for free. I love you too, Asia. When you buy one, do you have to immediately have to start working on them? Can you let them sit? You asking me? Listen, I be having houses I forget is there because I fix them one at a time because I use cash. Yes, you can let them sit as long as you get a vacant property permit and you buy it. So no, you don't have to get working on them right away. You can get it and sell it as is, or you can let it sit there as long as you want. I can tell you the real deal. I gotta get with you. I'm here. Where are you? What can you do with 10K? Where do I start? It's like, no, you can buy a house with 10K. You can do a purchase and rehab loan and use the 10K as your down payment. What else can you do with 10K? Literally anything. I mean, if you could do stuff with 600, you could definitely get it popping with 10,000. Should be fine. Did you talk about financing? I think I did. I don't know. Do you have a specific question about financing? I can help you. Are you doing classes or the phone calls still? Both. So the classes, like I said, every Sunday in a group, 7:30. Phone call is personal, one-on-one, customized. I'm Siri, okay, aka Jamisa, right? And I'll say, hey, where we starting, where we going, and then based off that, I'm going to give you a turn left, turn right, just like Siri. So if you say, listen, I'm broke, all right, this is how we get to the bag. If you say, no, I got money, I don't know what to do, this is what you do with the bag. If you say, I don't have any money, I got credit, this is what you do with the credit. If you say, I don't have anything, I say, this is how you build your credit, this is how you get some money. And it's literally customized to fit whatever your situation is. That's the real estate investment call. I still do those. The classes are like a variety of different topics, but I still do those too. Do you have any contacts for Dallas, Texas? I think I have some Texas people in the group, and my cousin actually lives in Texas too. Can I make an appointment with you? I'm looking to purchase property. Absolutely. You can book it at whatever time and date works for you that is actually on the calendar. What would you say to someone who has analysis paralysis? You missing money. You're never going to know everything about everything. Like, understand, it's so many different things. No two deals are the same, right? There's no two things that are going to be exactly alike. Experience is the best teacher. So you learn that everything is a waste of time. It's like if I sat here and told you how to ride a bike. Like, hey, you get on, you hold your balance, you pedal, and you go. You can be like, all right, you taking in all the information. It ain't the same as you riding that damn bike, ever, at all. So I would just say start in one spot. Like, if you are uncomfortable, move toward that discomfort. Like, work towards the discomfort. And eventually things become normal. It's just like anything that you've ever done in your life. You didn't know how to do it. You figured it out, and you got it done. This is no different. So, yeah. You are so together. No, I'm not. I am just, let me tell you something. Before this, you see this chick flick up. Before I got on live, I had a client. And then I was late for another client. So as I'm driving home, I had to pump milk because I have a newborn. She's in her swing sleep over there. So I was pumping while I was driving, eating fries, trying to dip it in the Polynesian sauce. And I had to capture that moment to tell people that it looks together, but it's not always together. People just don't give you the behind the scenes of it. So I be up, down, all around. I had bags under my eyes. My little isogenics, because I drink isogenics. My little isogenics got me together. And that's why I look like, you know, I'm all together. But look at my eyebrows. That's how you can tell I ain't all together. but I still appreciate the compliment. If you have a mortgage and want to get a rehab loan, how can I do a refinance? It depends on your credit and your situation. Like if you got bank statements and all that, you can go to a regular bank. If you don't have bank statements and everything, you can come to me and I can refinance it for you with the private lending. What's the best way you would suggest getting started if you're new to real estate? Figuring out what you want to start with before anything else. Like I would just figure out what I want to do. Like where do I want to start? And then create a plan to get started. And then start. What have I missed? Everything, Diana. So welcome to the party. I'm ready to join the group. Diana in the group, ask her. She's from California. And she's anal, okay? She's older than me. I think she got kids my age. Sorry, I ain't telling your age. But I met her a few months ago. She booked a call and she just like fell in love. And she is really analytical about stuff. Listen, she's no nonsense. She don't waste money. She is serious. She could be a principal at a damn school. But she's in our group. Ask her. And she'll tell you the truth. She might tell you I get on her nerves though. Don't listen to that part. Can you do Section 8 with a duplex? I want to say I don't know. I have never done it. But I want to say yes as long as it's separately metered. I think that is the rule. You can do a multi-unit as long as it's separately metered. Pretty much the government don't want to pay bills for something else that don't got nothing to do with them. What can you do with 3K? Turn it into 10. Did I miss my question? You might have. Ask it again. I'm about to go back down and hit the button again. Just ask it. Go ask the question again and it'll pop up in my little purple thing. I'm in New York City. What's the best way to utilize 10,000? Use some of that 10,000 to pay the toll and go to Pennsylvania. Because New York is sick. But like I said, you can still get cheap properties. I got a $500 house at an auction. That's the real thing. It's mine. That wasn't a deposit. The house was $500. My 7 unit was $2,000. Just 2 comma 000. That's it. If I'm new to this, what material from you? So you, okay, wait. Do I just jump in? Yeah, just jump in. If you're brand new and you need direction, you can do the call. But if you're watching the classes, they're all self-explanatory and very, very thorough. How do I get a personal one-on-one? Book the real estate consultation. It's going to tell you that it's going to have different staff members' names. Just request me in the notes section. Just say, I want to talk to Jamisa. I had to leave and come back. Did I miss my question? I think your question was about financing. I don't know. You got to ask it again. I'm not sure. Because I answered every question that was in the little box. And then I came over here, but I'm going to go back to the little box. What is required for financing for purchase and rehab? At least a 680 credit score. And you got to be able to show about 15,000 liquid cash. Can I DM you for dollars contacts to get started? It depends on what you want to start with. If you're saying that you just need a plan, I can help you with that regardless of where you are. What do you need? Like what type of dollars contact do you need? What you invest out of state if you lived in another state and worked full time? Yeah. Because even if a house next door, I ain't going to go bother and look at it every day. I don't really pay that much attention to houses. It's easier to not look at them all the time. Because your anxiety will probably get the best of you. Like, I wonder if everything's okay in there. And then you stalking your tenant and you're going to jail for harassment. How much did you first start with? $1. I did a $1 transfer and I sold that property for $152. You are amazing. Thank you. Girl, you just hurt my feelings. I'm always wanting to know everything. Probably why I ain't got nothing. I did not mean to hurt your feelings, but at least let that be a personal attack on you that allows you to go get your stuff together, okay? $59.99 for the group. You look good with all that hair and a newborn. Well, thank you, because I'm tired. All I do, you see the breast pump is right here. That's all I do is pump all day, so at least I look better than I feel. How do you know where to start? You don't. And this is why I'm saying that to y'all too, because y'all probably like, easy for you to say you got blah, blah, blah. I didn't know anything about real estate at all. I didn't know anything. I sold the first property for $250,000 less than I was supposed to. I didn't know. I just didn't not try to find out. I started. So the first L I took was selling the property for too cheap. Then I was like, okay, what did I do wrong? Let me keep going and figure it out. And then as I started doing stuff, I started to learn wholesaling. I saw a guy on Instagram, shout out to Reek. He had a property up there. It looked really good. I was like, oh, because I wanted to reinvest. Okay, one house got me that much. Let me go buy more houses. I reached out to him, showed up at the property. I went to go see it, negotiated, right? I felt good. I think he wanted 50. I got him down to like 45. I'm feeling it now. Like, yeah, I negotiated. Yay. Get to the closing table. He chilling, like off in the corner on the phone. And it's me and this other guy signing papers. So I'm like, who's this guy? They like, oh, that's the owner. I'm like, well, who you? Like, this is me talking to Reed. I know him now, but this is me talking to the Instagram guy. Like, well, who you? You showed me the house. I signed the contract. I'm confused. He's like, oh, I was wholesaling. I'm a wholesaler. So what the hell is that? He's like, when you signed the assignment contract, you see that $15,000? That's what I get because I found him somebody to buy the house. I'm like, so I could have got this house $15,000 cheaper? Yeah. But if I was a wholesaler, I could be up $15,000. Yeah. Boom. Now I got wholesaling in the bag. I learned from experience. That's what I'm telling y'all. The only reason why I get paid so much is because I get to tell y'all the bad stuff I did so y'all don't do it. And I get to tell y'all what works so y'all can just get it done a little bit sooner. But experience is the best teacher. Does the group walk you through the sheriff sale? No. Only the sheriff sale products specify sheriff sale activities. What's the difference between tax lien and tax forbearance? Tax forbearance means it has been a delay on payment and taxes. A tax lien means there's a lien against a property because of taxes. Can you purchase a multifamily in PA with 20K? It depends on who you're purchasing it from. Yes. Walk me through the steps for how to find properties on the county website. Oh yeah, I can help you with that. You can book the sheriff sale course for that. Wait, you had a baby? Yep, I got a... She 2 months. She turned 2 months on the 27th. I was just thinking like, damn, how old is she? I just had a baby. Look. See? I snatched her. Y'all can see my little foot tummy? So I look like the babysitter. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. But now I have a collection of 4 beautiful babies. You got the tree house still? Of course. I don't sell houses. Unless I got to. But I actually kept that one. So I can just go to the auction and buy a property and hold on the bid and wholesale it. Yep, or you can wholesale it as soon as you get it. Depends on your preference. Are the auctions open to the public? Some of them, not all of them. Some people are in like the yellow phase. This is the thing. They delaying the fact that we about to be around sick people. We've always been around sick people, mind you. I think it's inevitable. It's like us trying to avoid the flu. Like, you can't. Nothing comes and hits that hard and kill that many people and just go away. Like, I'm not. Yeah. Some of them open to the public. Just to answer your question. I don't feel like ranting. Can you help me buy a mobile home in North Carolina? If so, how would the process take? Like, weeks or days? You saying if I finance it? If I finance it a couple weeks, you gotta find the house yourself. But, like, I don't specialize in mobile homes. That's not my thing. Yes, snapback. Hey, girl power. Oh, congratulations. Yes, grandma, she loved baby. So I had to replace her daycare. How do you get to the auction? How do you get to them? What you mean? I drive. I want to, my sense of humor sucks. So I don't want you to think I'm being smart. But like, you just go through them. I'm trying to figure out what you mean by that question. I keep finding it's really cheap land, like $3,200. Should I buy and ask questions later? Yeah. Yes. Girl, if I was your husband, you would have our baby, so you a whole cat. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I need a lender to do a refi on my investment property with tenant. My score fell since the pandemic. It has lots of equity I want to use to make more investments. I can help you refi. Literally, if you send an email to financing@rosebudsinvestments.com, you'll get an auto response that says, hey, tell me about your deal, right? That's just how I read it in my mind. But then we'll go through the steps of what you need and what you can do. I'm in the DMV, want to enter auction. Show up and go. You should get a park, but you can rent the land. Don't y'all know in Las Vegas, it's a strip, right? What if I told you that somebody owns the land under the hotels and they get paid because people like the Mirage built their hotel on top of somebody's dirt? Like, land is everything. The houses and all that cool, but land, even if a house fall apart, the land's still there and it still holds value. I'm in California. Do you recommend investing in this state? If you can afford it. California is expensive. You have to pay to get into the auction. Some of them, not all of them. I heard some land you can't build on. Do your research. That's correct. It depends on the area. Can you call me today? My anxiety is on high. I know Diana, because I don't want that vicarious anxiety. You keep that over there. You can send me an email and I can read through it to see if I feel like dealing with what the hell you about to ask me. But no, I'm in a good mood today. That's in Miami though, I don't know. Yeah, it depends. Like, you got eminent domain. You got stuff where it's like you can't do certain things in certain areas. So, I don't find that hard to believe. What website do I go to for sheriff sale in Pennsylvania? There's more than one. See, I gave y'all a lot of free game. There y'all see? Y'all always taking it for it. Tell me exactly where you get all of your secret sauce. No, Plankton. No. Why does it seem so hard to find auctions and foreclosures? Because you ain't doing it right. That's why I got a job. What y'all think I get paid for nothing? It ain't easy. It's just not hard when you do it over and over and over. You still got the Chester house that I went to go check on. I got both of them. That was a $500 house. How much does it range from that you have to pay? It depends on the auction you go to. I had a guy buy a house for $300. No ice cream and Chick-fil-A for you when I visit. Good thing I got it. Ugh. Don't be trying to bribe me on live. What's horrible? Join the movement. Rosebuds University. No free game. That's I'm sorry. She pay me every month, so she's like, my bad. You know, I try to help people. They only got an hour with me. Don't be acting petty. Alright. Do you do title searches? Nope, I answered that. I answered that. I answered all your questions. I answered that. What did you say about utilization and mortgage? Get your utilization down. I gave you a lot of free game though about the whole utilization and balancing your credit thing. I said a lot though, so you're gonna have to play this back when I'm done. But it's possible. I think you said, what is all needed to do financing for a purchase of Rehab? $680 in liquid cash somewhere. Right, I didn't see this question. I'm torn between starting a business and purchasing an investment property. Which way would you lean? You're going to spend your money on something that's going to make you money or cost you money. Which one will make you the most money first? And then what can you pull money out of to then do both? Because the answer is you have to do both, regardless. Neither one is negotiable. You need money. So you want to do both things that's going to make you money. So it depends on the type of business. If your business going to bring you back some money and you can put that in the house, cool. Me personally, I would buy an investment property, refinance, take the equity out, and then use that money to go start my business. Now it's a win-win. I got that house that's going to always make me money because I'm renting it out. And now I got my business popping. And it's just a good business. Like I said, you just killed two birds with one stone. Do you have a template for a wholesale contract? Of course. It's called an agreement to sell. It's not a wholesale contract. You got an agreement to sell, and then you got an assignment contract. But I only share with my group members. I'm going to be giving you my contract. But I'm going to give you a cheat sheet. You can literally type standard agreement to sell on Google. You can get one of your own. You just got to make sure it has the right verbiage. Hold on. Mommy duties are calling. Come on, people. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I'm busy. Alright. How much do you need to get an auction home or tax deed home in Miami? So the minimum is 5%. I mean, the minimum is 200 or 5%.